morning, lovelies. Disney just released their new movie, Raya and the Last Dragon, which I will be watching with my family when my brother comes to visit us for spring break, and I thought in the meantime I will list my top 10 favorite Disney tropes. And then do a list of my least favorite tropes in a week or two, because those tend to be the more popular videos for some reason. You negative Nellies. Before we get started, remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos on science fiction, fantasy, and horror through a feminist lens. If you want early access to these videos, access to my Discord server, and more bonus content, join us on Patreon. We've got a great community who directly support this channel, and that link is in the description. Just for clarification, when I say Disney tropes and Disney movies, I mean tropes found in the recognizable classic Disney movies. The ones with the Disney princesses, musical numbers, and that are animated. Not live action, not Pixar, not Marvel or Star Wars or whatever other franchise they've bought in their quest for world domination. Cool? Cool. Number 1, they center on a woman. One thing that I've always appreciated about Disney is that they almost always put the focus on femme characters. Whether or not those characters are worth being focused on varies from princess to princess. Most of them are engaging enough to hold up their movie. Number 2, that woman is lately a badass. This is definitely a more modern thing, but we saw this as early as Mulan. Or maybe Ariel, depending on whether or not you believe she took Ursula's deal for a man, or for her passion of studying humans. I would even argue that some of the earlier princesses like Cinderella are badasses. Just because she can't dropkick a guy doesn't mean that she doesn't deserve props for surviving a horribly abusive situation with her optimism and sanity intact. But I definitely do appreciate Disney's recent attempt at creating more fleshed out princesses with various strengths and weaknesses. Some of them fight, some of them use their brains, and some of them have neither and just go in with blind optimism and sheer gumption. Number 3, dysfunctional families. Disney has started to move away from this one in recent years, I've noticed. It used to be that every single Disney family had some sort of dysfunction. And no, I do not believe that Elsa's parents were abusive. They just had no idea what they were doing because their kid had ice magic powers that were linked to her emotions. So they accidentally created a coping mechanism for her that became a prison. I think that if they had survived the shipwreck, they would have been able to help Elsa cope with her powers through her adult years and prevented a lot of the issues that popped up in the movie, and we would not have had a movie. Debate for another time. In general, actual, undeniably dysfunctional, abusive families are one of my favorite tropes, period. Look, I am an angst whore, okay? I love seeing characters grow up in that horrible environment, go through character development, and then turn around and tell their abusers, no, fuck you. It's great. Number 4, the ruthless murder of functional families. Of course, if the family isn't the antagonist, they're gonna get in the way of the plot. We forget because they're family films designed for children, but Disney is ruthless when it comes to killing parents and parental figures. Gotta love that angst. Number 5, the villain's song. Almost every Disney song is great. Certainly better than anything I could come up with. But 9 times out of 10, the villain's song is the best of the entire film. It's probably more of a taste thing for me. I'm very eclectic with my music, but I do tend to lean a lot more towards the rock, the darker stuff, the energetic stuff, and those are the villain songs. Speaking of villains, number 6, the pure evil villains. This type of villain has gone out of style, and it can be a little over the top and cliched if it's not done right. But I still love me a classic pure evil villain, and every single Disney villain is it. They want to do the thing, whatever that thing is, and they're going to do it no matter who gets hurt along the way. No sympathy, no tear-jerking backstory, just pure evil. Number 7, the fight scenes. Is it just me, or has Disney gotten really good at making fight scenes? Whether it's silly or serious, a Disney fight scene is always engaging and exciting and intense. Unless you've seen it a million times, you just can't look away. And even then, I will never leave the room if one of my favorites is about to come on. Number 8, the sex jokes. I can't say I look forward to this the way that I do the other tropes on this list, but I respect it. It takes skill to put in a horribly inappropriate joke in a children's movie in a way that the kids will not notice, but all of the adults will get. Number 9, they make fun of themselves. Disney is single-handedly responsible for half of our modern day tropes, cliches, and story archetypes. And now they're at the point where hardly a single film goes by that they're not inflicting some serious self-burns. I cannot stand people or companies that take themselves too seriously, and I love it when an established creator looks back on all of their past work and is able to laugh at it. And number 10, happily ever after. This is true no matter what the genre or the creator. I need my happy ending. I don't care what else happens in this story, okay? Who dies, who gets humiliated or beaten or tortured, I don't care, so long as they get a happy ending. Or at least a bittersweet one. Yes, I know it's not always realistic, but I don't read fantasy for that! If I want to be depressed by a story with a sad or disappointing ending, I'll turn on the news. Stories are escapism, and there is no greater master of escapism than Disney. Those are my favorite Disney tropes and the reason that I keep watching their movies well into adulthood. Tell me your favorite Disney tropes in the comments below. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and come join us on Patreon for bonus content. Link in the description. Bye, lovelies!